I am the referrals client care supervisor and case coordinator. So my job at Pride is to look after the team. I've got a team of 8 client care advisors, and basically I'm in charge of the daily running of the referrals team. I will organise their rotas, where they're working for the day, what area they'll be spending their time on, call centre, the front desk. And I do things like I am in charge of organising referrals, especially emergencies, so I will speak to different departments within the hospital, the imaging team, wards, etc., to make sure that we can safely transfer patients from referring vets over to ourselves in emergency situations, those sorts of things, so organising appointments and vets' rotas in terms of holiday and appointment schedules and things like that. So I've been working for Pride now for 5 years, so I came from a client care sort of background. I'd worked for sort of quite recognisable branding of businesses, and for them I was working in customer services. So I took some time off when I had my daughter, so I had my maternity leave and then decided when I came back from that I wanted to pursue a career within something I'd always wanted to do. So I wanted to sort of work with animals like most people do that come here in the first place. Because I had customer service experience, I saw this, and I'd used Scarsdale as a vet for all my animals. So when the opportunity came up, I decided that would be something I'd like to get involved with. I started on what we class as the main reception, which is first opinion. So I worked over on the main desk, and I also worked at some of the branches. And then obviously the referrals job came up, and they felt that I would be a good fit on the referrals desk. So I sort of all went from there, really. So there's various shifts across the day. We're there from 8 till 7:30, various shifts split between us all. But if we were on the morning shift, we'd open up the desk, we'd ensure that all the folders are out for the vets for that day. We would start looking in the emails, we would start making sure that the waiting room was all ready, arriving the clients, letting the vets know, actioning anything that had happened over the evening. So a typical day you'd spend, say, half the day out on the front, and then obviously the other in the back in the call centre, just to sort of break it up a little bit. I myself obviously have other roles. I have to go and speak to the different departments and see what availability we've got for that day, ensure that each service is open to taking emergencies, and then obviously coordinating with them so that I can filter that down to the rest of the team. So for me, it's the clients, and it's seeing the animals that come in. Obviously they come to us quite poorly, so when they've come in and you've been involved with that and you see them obviously throughout the hospital and then their journey here, and then when they leave and what we've achieved for them, the team here are very specialised, as you're probably aware. So some of the vets that work here obviously see a lot of cases that maybe some other vets don't see on a regular basis. So we do get to see some really interesting things here, and it's nice to see how, they've been managed to get the result that they've been trying sometimes for quite a while to get to the bottom of what's going on. So it's quite rewarding to see them going home, the owners are happy, they've got the answers they need and can put a treatment in place. We see lots of cases here every single day where they come in. Obviously, we've got an orthopaedics team, a neurology team, all of the different disciplines. So we are often seeing cases that are coming in that, as I say, are quite dramatic a lot of the time. There's been a serious incident, there's been a road traffic accident, something like that. I know that there's been the case recently with the German Shepherd who obviously had to have the facial reconstruction. But on a daily basis, we see clients that do return for things like chemotherapy. Quite recently, one of our cases where there's a lovely lady that comes in with her dog, a Labrador that comes in that has chemotherapy, and only yesterday I was speaking to her and it was the dog's last chemotherapy session, and it was really lovely to have a chat with her and see how well they're doing now compared to when they first came in. So every day it's quite rewarding to see the patients going back out a lot happier than when they first came in, but yeah. Yeah, so it is really nice. We are a very close team, so not just obviously in reception and in the client care team, but across the hospital. So we work quite closely with all the diplomats here and all the other vets and nurses here. So it is one big team really, and everybody makes you feel very included in that. It's a very friendly atmosphere. You feel that you can go and speak to anybody, approach anybody with your questions, and they're always very happy to help. And again, we help each other, so it does feel very much like one big team here. So in terms of, we're often, obviously the big Christmas party, everybody socialises, we socialise at, the client care team have social events all the time. We have a group, we have one of our client care ladies on the other side, she's in charge of organising social events, so we're always off to do something together. But yeah, things like the Christmas party and any charity events that the practice is running, we all come together to get involved with things like that. I've been lucky to go on a couple of courses actually that are quite memorable here at Scarsdale. There was one where they sent me on a customer service one. It was a few years back. We went up to Northumberland. That was nice. There was a nice hotel. It was run by Excel Vets who do a lot of our training. I also more recently went on the line manager course. So we spent a few days down in the main arena doing various tasks and teamwork, and it was I felt it was very rewarding. And by the end of it, obviously everybody took something away from that, and just a bit about looking at yourself and where your strengths and weaknesses are, making you sort of feel a little bit, more empowered at the end of it than we were when we started, and with an idea of where to go in the future with things to develop on.